Senate negotiators are preparing the final text of what could be the most consequential immigration legislation in nearly 40 years. The bill would require Homeland Security to reject migrants after average daily border crossings surpass 5,000 over 7 days. The new legislation may also raise the acceptance standard for asylum seekers, shorten legal review times, expand fast-track deportations, and restrict the president's immigration parole authority. Nancy Cordes is in Washington with the latest.
Our country is being invaded right now, right in front of our very eyes, because of Joe Biden's catastrophic border policies.
And Joe Biden should be ashamed of himself.
House Republicans slammed the president's handling of immigration this evening, even as the White House and bipartisan negotiators raced to finalize a package of major new border restrictions. Oklahoma Republican James Lankford.
We're working on the final aspects of it to try to be able to get it out so everyone can get a chance to read it. Right now, they're all functioning off of internet rumors.
The centerpiece of the plan is a new presidential authority to swiftly deport most migrants seeking asylum anytime there is a surge in unlawful border crossings, like December when encounters at the border hit an all-time high.
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly.
But President Biden's predecessor, who plans to run on immigration, urged Republicans this weekend to kill the deal.
Please blame it on me, please, because they were getting ready to pass a very bad bill. And I'll tell you what, a bad bill is, I'd rather have no bill than a bad bill. A bad bill you can't have.
Wondering if I can get your reaction to that.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre.
The bipartisan agreement that they're coming forward with are things that House Republicans have said, and Republicans more broadly said they wanted. They have said over and over again, this is what they want to see.
And Nancy Cordes joins us now. So, Nancy, first of all, why is it taking them so long to come up with a text out of the Senate?
Well, John, you know, even in the best of times, writing up a bill text is an onerous process. These bills can stretch hundreds of pages. The language is very arcane. And then you've got this very sensitive deal involving major changes to border security policies that have been in place for decades. They are revamping the asylum system. They are revamping humanitarian parole. So this is very complicated. Every time they write a piece of text, it's got to get signed off by the Democratic negotiators, the Republican negotiators, the White House. They have to make sure that they aren't accidentally writing into law something that runs counter to what they're actually trying to achieve. So it's slow going, but they are hoping that they'll be able to put the cherry on top of this legislative text this week.
And now I want to ask you about the role of the president, but a little preamble. In the old days, I would have said, what role is the president playing? And the White House would have been at pains to show him doing something. But we're in a condition now, and have been for the last few years, where engagement by a president may scare off the opposite party, who don't want to vote for anything that's going to help the president. So with that long preamble, what has the level of presidential involvement been in this?
Yeah, you know, you're absolutely right, John. There are some Republican strategists out there who have criticized the president for what little he has said about this deal and who argue he should be saying even less if he wants this thing to get across the finish line. But the White House Office of Legislative Affairs, that answers to the president, has been deeply involved in these negotiations. Obviously, the president himself has sat down with the leaders of the House and Senate, so they've talked some of this through. But the bulk of the work is taking place in the Senate between this small group of Democratic and Republican senators, most notably Chris Murphy of Connecticut and Senator James Lankford of Oklahoma and Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona.
Nancy Cordes at the White House. Thank you so much, Nancy.